Hello and welcome to another edition of Small World USA as I'm actually going to be taking a road trip. But the start of the road trip starts in Dearborn Heights and then on the hill I got me some maps. That's kind of a dead giveaway of where I'm going. But entering I-75, made it down to the Ohio border, now into Cincinnati. So I made it there pretty quick. A lot of traffic on the I-75-71 bridge. So I went downtown Cincinnati first, and it's known as the Queen City. There's a big paddle wheel as an art d'object, or object d'art. This is an object d'art too, a nice bridge, and when you get halfway across the Ohio River, you get into Kentucky. And I spent the night in Covington, Kentucky. But, so I'm going to see Covington and Cincinnati. So it's CC You Bet. And back in the day, in high school, I used to run cross country. And we used to have a slogan, CC You Bet. Cross country, you bet. Then it stood for Canadian Club for a while. But for this particular show, it's going to be Covington and Cincinnati. Covington is on the south side of the Ohio River. I couldn't find the Holiday Inn where I was staying at. I was looking around for it. It's nearby. That's a prominent church that I might get a peek at later. This is a beautiful apartment building with some beautiful balconies. But the Ohio River is a pretty active waterway. And so we see a heavy-duty crane being, it's on a barge and it's being pushed downstream by James II, a tugboat. Now, off in the distance is the I-75-71 bridge, and they're doing some work on it. They're painting it, so the traffic was reduced considerably. Instead of 4 lanes going each way, I guess it was 2 lanes going each way, and that was the cause of the traffic delays and so forth. Now, that might be part of the infrastructure bill if it passes the House and Senate. Biden, our president, will sign it, and then we'll start getting some infrastructure projects, some that are long overdue, started and completed. But yeah, you can see going southbound, it's the upper level, and going northbound is on the lower level. But they had a big canopy up there. But I'm catching the barge action here. I'm quite fascinated by this. Just behind here is the football stadium in downtown Cincinnati. There was quite a breeze. A front was passing through, and so it was quite breezy. But here they kind of connect the barges. This is quite a long thing. There's some kind of trick to doing all this. Now, I'm not sure if they could have, I don't think they can have freighters or anything like we have on the Detroit River. It might be because of the bridges and so forth that might pose the problem. I don't know, but you see a lot of barge action. And this one's pushed up by a tug. Proud to be an American also. That's always a nice touch. Patoka. I wonder if that's an Indian name. But yeah, that's a long barge, so I was happy to see the river action. And there's multiple bridges that go across the Ohio River. And as we'll see a little bit later in this program, you can walk across several of them. And Checking out one of the taller skyscrapers. Now, the flood action, of course, the Ohio River is a big tributary or feeder river to the Mississippi, but it can reach flood stage and so forth, so they have protective barriers. The Waffle House, I wanted to keep things kind of. I wasn't staying at the Courtyard by Marriott. I stayed at the Holiday Inn. I got it on hotwire.com, and you don't know the location of the hotel until you finally commit and actually pay for it. It tells me it's a 3-star hotel. Boy, oh boy, I would have liked to have stayed at the Radisson. That might be a 4-star. But I wanted to go up to the restaurant up top. But I'm going to unlock my smile here. But yeah, this is my room. The pool wasn't in action yet. There was some nice yellow weeds growing outside of the window. But this was a big day. This was actually the first day of the draft. Well, I'll give you a tour of the room. What was it? It was like $98. It was like $82 for the rate, and then it was $17 or $18 for sales tax. So yeah, it came up to $98. Here you get a fridge. That's a nice touch these days. And complete with the shower, toilet, towel, sink, the toiletries, and a mirror, and the TV. But checking out the weather, a little chilly here. So, this is the start of the draft here. It was in Cleveland. I was in the wrong big city in Ohio for the draft. But Cleveland, a lot of action going there. So I'm starting my walking tour now. I was checking out the food things. I'm a bad boy, so I would have gone for the sliders on the right there. But, I'm going to walk around here, Covington, and check out the scene a little bit. Yeah, they have to be concerned with the floodplains. So there's these barriers or whatnot that they have up and to protect the city. Northern Kentucky Convention Center. I'm not sure where that door leads to. You don't want it having to exit out. PNC Bank. I think they're based out of Pittsburgh. I have an account with them. Okay, where the star is. So I'm gonna trying to look here, and they were doing some pedestrian work on not just the pedestrian side of things, but also the vehicular side. There was a detour. They wanted us to go to the other side, so we'll get around to that in a little bit. I'll cross the bridge. Here's that beautiful apartment building. This is the first place I stopped at to just take a little break. The Gruffs or whatever. And then Blinker's Tavern. Yeah, Covington has a neat little downtown, kind of a cool thing. And, we probably would have loved a wide receiver, but the Lions picked 7th. I think there were 3 quarterbacks taken and 3 wide receivers. So with the 7th pick, we went with, what was it, an offensive tackle? Nothing to get too excited over for sure. Hey, I remember her. She was hot to trot back when I was in high school. All right, well, some excited fans. And so here we are Thursday evening with the 7th pick in the draft. And, wow, they seem excited there. but they picked Penny Sewell out of Oregon. So, I wish him well. Okay, 58 degrees. So there you see the phones are just great for your maps. It's just fabulous. And I love the GPS. It just pinpoints exactly where you are. Boy, you can't use that as an excuse anymore that you're lost. I mean, geez. Molly Malone's probably an Irish bar, and I like to patronize Irish bars. I don't want to see them go out of business. But yeah, look, here's the city seal, city of Covington. And we got ourselves a mural here. Yeah, Irish pub. Yeah, you don't want to see them go out of business. When Irish eyes are smiling, they are usually up to something. Yep. Truer words were never spoken. Okay, the Tigers had an... Oh, wait a second. I was checking the Cincinnati schedule. They had an off day. But, yeah, they like their... they do like their Cincinnati Reds. They follow them pretty good. So they have two sports teams, and they got their two stadiums downtown. The football stadium for the Bengals, and for the Cincinnati Reds, I think they still call it Riverfront. They don't have a basketball or a hockey team, so they got two out of the big four. Okay, well, now I'm halfway across the bridge, right where that blue dot is. The mighty Ohio River, and it is a pretty formidable river. Oh, well, no, they call it the Great American Ballpark. It used to be Riverfront, but I guess there was no corporate dollars attached with the naming rights for that. So, but I don't know, Great American Ballpark? I'm not sure. That's a company, Great American? Okay, well, now I'm walking across the bridge here, and this is an old school bridge. This kind of reminds me of the Brooklyn Bridge in New York. It kind of had that old school flavor to it. I don't know, maybe it's the same architect or whatnot, but I think built in the late 19th century. I don't know, maybe I'll show the cornerstone. Okay, so we're going to check out Cincinnati. Yeah, it would have been nice if the Reds were playing. They started a 3-game set against the Chicago Cubs on Friday, and I had seen a few Cubs fans walking around with their sweatshirts and the like. So I knew something was up. So it might be hard to get Cub tickets in Chicago, so it's not too bad to take a road trip to Cincinnati. Here we see it again, their sign. They want you to sing. I can't sing, though, so I'm not even going to try. Well, here's the PNC building lit up, nice columns. Taste of Belgium. I think that's a fancy restaurant or a beer place. Crossing, well, that's a main expressway that goes through the downtown area, which is nice. Yeah, Cincinnati's, well, geez, it's like a 3-hour drive from Detroit area. Well, let's see, 260 miles, maybe 4 hours. But, yeah, to come and see maybe when the Lions play the Bengals, it'd be kind of neat. Here, look at the masonry work here, if I can get that in focus, these nice arches. I'm looking at some of the older school buildings in Cincinnati. Yeah, it's a nice, fun, walkable city. And then occasionally the Tigers play the Cincinnati Reds with the interleague play and the like. Seems like we play Pittsburgh a lot as our intra-league opponent, but I know it's supposed to pick one division out, but seems like we play Pittsburgh quite a bit. Yeah, look at these little details here around the archway. Yeah, back in the day when they made buildings, they didn't spare any expenses. They had those nice touches that made their buildings stand out. And there's some architecturally stunning buildings that are being created now, but for the plain Jane ones, yeah, a lot of stuff is pretty boring, and a lot of stuff is like outdated already. Oh, I'm counting the number of banks that they have. I'm in like a downtown square here, and Fifth Third Bank, familiar with that one too. First Bank, I don't know if we have any of those around. That would be 4. And then Huntington, that's 5. All right, I love this fountain. It was lit up well at night. To the people of Cincinnati. So someone donated that. That's quite lovely. And lots of details here. Oh, there might be a little public nudity too, so if your panties get all up in a bunch, take a break. Take a chill pill. It happens sometimes, the artsy kind of thing. Sometimes they do that. Yeah, it was nice just taking a stroll through town, especially at different hours of the day. Sometimes when things have calmed down, it's kind of nice. You have a chance to take it all in, but sometimes it's nice when there's a lot of people rushing about, during the regular business hours, but this would be after hours. Oh, then nice bar down this alley, and I walked a few more steps and a rat ran across the alley. So I tell you what, it's an authentic alley. I can attest to that. It ran across to the left. I'll show the door later if you're interested, if you hang with this for a little bit longer for this 1-hour show. All right, well, another look at the map on where that blue dot is, pretty much downtown Cincinnati. But this is it's a multi-level bar, and if you're going to a football game, this is the hangout for sure. They got an outdoor patio on this second level. There may even be some lofts around here. They like their Bengals, and then here we see the Reds guy. And yeah, the draft's going on. I asked the bartender if I could walk across a different bridge other than the one I came. This guy, Quiddy Pay from Michigan. I think that was the first Michigan player taken in the draft. This is a red light district, to be sure. So you got to be careful around here. No, the rat ran there to the right. So, yeah, it's authentic. It's the real deal. You're in the back alley. Who knows what else is back there, but yeah. And that's an Irish bar too. So I might, somewhere along the line, I might have part Irish in me. Here, looking at the columns. So, well, there you go. It's all lit up. And nice benches along here. The Inquirer, I believe that's their daily newspaper. The Cincinnati Inquirer. 7175 southbound. I'll be doing that tomorrow. And I don't know if that's it's probably some kind of a Bengal there. Now this is a nice design here too. Okay, so I'm gonna walk across the bridge. Look at this. Looks like a bulb. Detour. I always take the detour when I'm in Detroit, and sometimes in other cities I'll take the detour also. But okay. Now I'm gonna walk. Look how narrow this bridge is, but yeah. And if I got my phone out, I could tell you the name of the bridge, but it's right next to the I-71, I-75 bridge. Now hiring, and a lot of people are. But they're saying people with these extended benefits or expanded benefits of $300 additional a week, it kind of makes it difficult for them to go to work. If they're getting their regular unemployment plus $300 on top of that, who can blame them for not wanting to work if you can sit at home for free? They need to take a look at that probably. But anyway, so now I'm going to walk across the bridge, and it's a narrow path, but the view was rather nice. Yeah, this one, they might not allow you to take your bicycle across because it's that narrow. I don't know. Unless if you had approaching traffic from the other side, you might have to just get off your bike and kind of be careful as you go by, kind of a thing. But yeah, there's not much room. But things take on a different complexion at night. Certainly the lighting is a big part of that. But I didn't know this at first, but this is a rail bridge also, like a 2-in-1 bridge. We're going to see very shortly how this works out. Thought this was kind of cool. They got the big piles of stuff probably to make concrete and the like. Concrete, asphalt, who knows? But a lot of times river activity will have that. The barges that go up and down the river, everything's got to be close to where it's at. So I'm sure they use a good portion of their riverfront area for industrial uses and the like. All right, well, there you see the... Okay, made it halfway across, I think, Kentucky. You got some choices there, but I like the cross-hatching or the lattice work of the bridge. Well, I'm like, okay, there it is, Clay Wade Bridge. I showed it on my phone there. But yeah, I'm like halfway across, but I'm scouring the river, hoping that I could see some barge activity, late night barge action, but it was not to be. So I was kind of glad I caught it earlier in the afternoon, So I caught some of that. But yeah, pretty soon, gonna have some train action. Kind of surprised me. I heard some rumbling. What the hell is that? It's like you could feel it. And well, I'm gonna take a look at that church. That's a landmark. Here we go. Yeah, I kind of wish I was on the other side of the bridge, but Dollars to Donuts, I don't think they have a sidewalk on the other side. But I would have gotten up close with the train there, but I don't see like room for a sidewalk. Hey, as luck would have it, check this out. This is like as good as two ships passing in the night. This is like two trains passing in the night, crisscrossing here on a bridge, no less, between Cincinnati and Covington. CC, you bet. But yeah, I love trains, so I was cool with this. Yeah, the camcorder I'm taking this video with is old school. It was manufactured in 2001 by Sony, so it was still this Millennium and the 21st century, but yeah, it's 20 years old, the camcorder, but technology these days is just going in leaps and bounds. But the new technology does not have camcorders that can capture things like this in low light conditions. The camcorder I have is one of the best I think they've ever made as far as capturing low light conditions. Now the train decided to take a break. I was going to catch it rumbling down, but it stopped here. But yeah, I'm by Popeyes and Swain on Main. Yeah, I'll always stop and check out train action. But yeah, I really liked Covington, though. It was like old school, and I bet you it's like the poor man's Cincinnati. I bet you could probably live fashionably in Covington at a lower price budget, and it might be, well, I think it might be just as cool. But you'd have to weigh everything out, the tax structure in Kentucky versus Ohio. But yeah, there were plenty of restaurants, bars, and the like. And Covington's has done a lot in the last few years to develop their riverfront. It was getting late in the evening. I didn't have time to explore up and down, but I did a few years ago. I mean, this trip, the the impetus or the whole point of the trip here was to check out the Derby, which I will do, and also another thing I'm going to do the Ark Encounter. But I've been to Covington before. I was here, I think it was 3 years ago, and I was fascinated with what the city was doing as far as trying to promote the tourism, get people to enjoy the riverfront area, the parks and the like, the family thing, the quality of life issues where people can enjoy their weekend doing things and so forth. They have a place to escape. But yeah, this is a quick overview to be sure. And looking at some of the older buildings, somebody that was did research and stuff could start telling you how old some of those buildings were. And it's interesting, with the way the topography is in Kentucky and whatnot, and lower Ohio, you got the hills and so forth. So you got a lot of bridges and, not everything's it's not so much of a grid pattern down here. In some places it can be. Now I have my eye on the church. Now some of this footage I've aired earlier, but I didn't have a voiceover. But now I'm kind of calling the action. When I don't do a voiceover, I call that the conservative video. But when I do the voiceover, I call it progressive because I'm calling the action and adding my 2 cents. Or a penny for my thoughts. I don't know. You either get a penny or two out of the deal. But yeah, checking out this church. I presume it's a Catholic church. I get the name here, but I think I don't know if it's the name of a bishop. They have 2 clock towers. And so I'm kind of leveling this out or kind of spacing it out, doing the symmetry thing. Trying to be even Steven right in the middle. Yeah, see if you recognize the name here. Well, Ave Maria, know that. Mutter Gott's Kirch. Yeah. Nowadays, you probably can Google that and something will come up. But, yeah, it would have been nice to have, stepped inside. See, they call the neighborhood Mutter God's neighborhood. But to step inside that church and see what it's like, because churches are all built like brick shit houses and made to be extravagant, and they don't spare any pennies there. Now, looking up top, that's like a restaurant, bar area, but they do the brunch and dinner thing, I guess. And so it wasn't open. So now I took it into the next day. But I had the munchies, so I ended up going to the Waffle House to go. Yeah, they didn't have indoor dining with the COVID. So I got a large chili, and it's in a large coffee cup, but that's the way they did it. Then I had a sandwich and hash browns. So there I was. Ate that up. Well, fascinated, and this is a landmark. You see it off I-75 and so forth. But yeah, the Radisson there. So I had gotten up, I don't know, 5 in the morning or something. Now I'm checking for Saturday what the weather's going to be like. And it looks like everything's going to go A-OK. But this is Friday morning. The Derby is the first Saturday in May, so I got another day. So I got up, checkout was 11. And here's looking at the Brent Spence Bridge or whatever. I'll show it on the phone again. But Kamala Harris was supposed to be in town, they were saying on the news. I'm not sure, but she had a press conference somewhere where they were going to talk about infrastructure. This is like the levee or the mound of the floodplain control. You can see how the banking works. There's a dog path and take a walk. Here I do get a little more river action. It looks like some kind of a tugboat. They're sandblasting the bridge. Now, I'm not, if they were going to replace it, seems kind of crazy. Okay, Brent Spence Bridge. So, yeah, if they were going to replace it or whatnot, it seems kind of crazy to spend all this time and energy and money sandblasting and repainting the whole thing, but that's what they're doing. And then if this infrastructure thing passes, then I don't know. They're going to build a whole brand new one or refurbish the old one. Here's the floodwaters, but, you know, I don't know. Seems like it's going in reverse. The numbers. Seems like they would say how many feet above flood stage it would be. They should put a 0 mark on there. Now, there's people camping out here down by the river. Not in their van or anything. No, they set up tents and the like. A few years back when I explored this area, I certainly noticed there was a large homeless population that made their home along the riverbanks, but I didn't want to bother anyone today. So, plus I'm going to go see the Ark. That's next on the agenda here. So, yeah, you can see this protection wall and this whole bank. And then I don't know if these are big-ass pumps that if water penetrated on the other side and they had to pump it back, if that's how it works, I'm not sure. I need to be schooled in all that. There was part here is cement barriers, so people went out and did some murals. Then we see, well, these are wildflowers, little like miniature daisies. Now these are like white, and then I spotted this, a turtle, kind of hiding down there. Anyways, more flowers, and some of them had a purplish tone to them. So I don't know if there's like hybrid varieties of those or not. Graffiti has stepped it up a notch from the old days, but there's still a lot of scribble along there. I'm not too partial to the scribbling stuff, but some of the newer stuff, man, some of the stuff you see in Detroit these days is so well done. Check out Eastern Market. There's the church and more train action. That was an active rail bridge, to be sure. All right, 68 degrees. And I got to plug it in my car. Forgot the charger, that I could use in the hotel room. So I got to remember to plug in. Okay, Williamstown. That's where I'm going. That's where the Ark encounter is. It's right off of I-75. Williamstown is the biggest city. Speedy freeze you can get for $1.09. Okay, so I'm going to head south. And I'm going to stay on 75. And the Ark encounter here, I made it. Now, this opened in 2016. So it's already been almost 5 years. This was like my first peek at it. So I pulled the car over and wanted to take a look. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to pay to get inside or how I was going to do this. I thought maybe if I could get up close and just take a picture, but you see the Ark to the left and then part of the support structure there on the right, kind of to keep it in place. They got a parking lot here for all the people, and you can see patrons parked closer there, and that's where the shelter is. You can, a lot of tour buses, I would imagine, on the weekends, they have quite a few people that would make a pilgrimage. The Arabic people, or the Muslim or how do you say it? The Islamic faith, they have their pilgrimage to Mecca once in their lifetime. So is that a hawk, or that had quite the wingspan there? That guy was cutting his lawn, but that's where I parked. But I didn't go in because it said staff entrance only. So here it's $10. So if you want to go into the parking lot, be aware that if you turn in there, you're going to get knocked up for $10, even if you just want to circle around and come back out. There's the arc hours and so forth. Here was another peek I got from up on they call it Skyline Drive. But they had a hotel and a restaurant here, the Hotel America's Best Value Inn. So I'm going to check out the city of Williamstown first. They're the Grant County seat. So like the headquarters, or, well, what do they say? Like Detroit's the head of Wayne County, Ann Arbor's the head of Washtenaw County, Pontiac's for Oakland County. Okay, Bell's Smoke and Barbecue. Oh yeah, they were cooking out back, but they got the good stuff here. This was under lock and key. But yeah. But this was nice. The county salutes all the people that are in the active military and ones that have previously served, which is nice, like on all the lamp posts. Well, maybe not each and every lamp post, but here a little artwork, some youngsters enjoying a slide, and they need to adjust their clocks. It's not even like the time change for daylight savings or anything. That's just like way off. They need to replace the batteries. Oh, some train action again. This train here is just hauling ass. So that kind of leads me to believe it's plumb empty. I don't see anything. Usually I think it's like coal that they have in there, and it would be overflowing. But yeah, but it was hauling ass. 1914, so this is one of those older blocks, but I saw, yeah, check out, they're doing some work here. I'd love to play with one of these things, get dirty in the mud. This looks like kind of fun. And with the traction that this, it's not wheels, but it's got the, what do you call it, like the belt action there. And they got their post office. Yeah, so this is kind of a little bit more laid back, a little more old school kind of stuff, the country living. But, people that have to take care of business, they go, to the county seat. And whether it's court action or something to do business-wise. They had some churches, that's for sure. The Bible Belt certainly extends up into Kentucky. This is old school, the bell system. So some of the businesses in the city. Now, when the Ark was first made, the county or the state gave a lot of tax incentives to the people with the Ark Encounter to build the Ark there. There's their clerk's office. And if you do the Wikipedia thing, or if you Google the Ark Encounter and get the history on it, there was some question as to whether the city of Williamston is really benefiting at all because of the Ark. It was supposed to be a big boon for the local economy in the city and the like. And they gave away, I don't know exactly what for the tax incentives and the like, but they're saying the city didn't really see a lot of that extra, the destination was the Arc, and once they're done with the Arc, then they'd go home or get back on I-75. So it's kind of like they want to steer people more into the city so they can enjoy the city here, and the city can see some of that boon. Hey, you can take a selfie with the wheel. So there's some spirituality, physical health, mental health. All these things are important, certainly with the COVID crisis and just everything that we're dealing with. But yeah, it's nice. And then some of the local flowers, everything's starting to look good. The colors pop out. This place, I don't know if they were for bees or whatnot, but this is an old building that's got some history, like an old log cabin kind of thing. And here's another county building. And they got the lamppost all lined up. Oh, and I'm going to have a water tower kick. It seems started to check into these things a little bit more. This one's on E. Or I wonder if that's E for empty and F for full, if that is a way they monitor that. But yeah, the water pressure, and they got their emergency tower, maybe even some communications via the satellites. Here's another veteran. This guy from a while back, and now he's owner of a furniture and appliance store. Came back to the community, so good on him. Airport to the right. Yeah, so I'm checking out Williamstown now. Well, look at this out back here on 112 North Main Street. Yeah, this Smoking Barbecue, I had to go in. I love blues music, so I had to go in. I got the Memphis Melt, a chicken thing, and I got the dinner that came with the two sides. So I got the coleslaw and the mac and cheese, and they have a tame sauce, and they had the wild sauce. So guess which one I chose? Oh, yeah. You don't even need me to answer that. You already know which one I chose. All right, so I'm done. I got a full tummy. I turned here to the Arc Encounter. All right, I'm tuned in for $10 or dialed in. I gotta fork that over. It was $10 beyond that point, and there's no turning back. But, yeah, so you got to park, and then you're going to take a shuttle bus because it's way off yonder. I would have walked there if they would have allowed you to, but no, you're going to take the shuttle bus. There's the website. You go. They got two leading Christian-themed attractions. So the Creation Museum is not too far away, and the Arc Encounter, and they're same owners or kind of thing. There's some collaboration between the two. So you can upgrade your adventure to include, you get the combo ticket. But if you want to just do the Arc Encounter, adults 18 to 59, it's $49.95. I just turned 60, so I could get in for $39.95. But I was still thinking that was still too pricey for me. I just thought, well, you know what? I'm going to ask them. And they said they don't have it advertised there, but arcencounter.com, that's the website. If you purchase your parking ticket, they'll give you a wristband that you can use that will allow you to take the shuttle to the Arc, and then you can walk the grounds. You just won't get admittance into the ark. And I said, hey, I'm good with that. So that $10 I spent for parking also allowed me to do this, to walk the grounds. So I took the shuttle bus. They have all these, they got a big auditorium and they got a lot of programming. And Ken Ham is the guy that built this. So he's out actively promoting and talking things and so forth. And it talks religion. We'll listen to him a little bit here. He's talking to basically whoever will listen. But, you know, we'll catch a little bit here.
Your offerings, I don't accept them. The melody of your harps, I don't listen. You can have all the flashing lights and praise teams and everything you do. You know, when you read 1 Corinthians 14:8, if the trumpet makes an uncertain sound, who will prepare for battle? You know, when they blew the shofar, the trumpet, a certain sound meant advance, do this. I mean, that was the way they signaled the truth. The order, sad to say, is inverted. In my judgment,
there's the facts. 510 feet long. It goes off the biblical dimensions. I forget what it's Genesis that it's in the Bible, but yeah, they got it. So they say roughly it's like 1.5 football fields long. So there's a lay of the land here. They got a nice pond there, Noah's Village. You can get ice cream, family playground. We'll see the Truth Traveler. They got zip line too, so they're making this an attraction. So it's not just like a one and done kind of thing. There's lots of things for the family and kids to do. Just remember to bring your wallet with you, yeah, or your credit card, either or. But yeah. Whew. I could have spent the $40 to get inside, but I figured, no, you guys, if somebody really wants to go, I don't want to ruin it for you by showing you what it looks like inside, and then it'd be like, well, you might feel like, hey, I already saw it. I don't need to go. So I'll let you spend the $40 or $50 and take pictures and the like. Here's the lay of the land. So the ground level of the ark is there. Then you go up to one. There's ramps, but they might have an elevator in there too. I would think for the senior citizens they would have to do that, but maybe not. Do you see elevators there? They got the restrooms. I don't know. Maybe in the future I'll check it out because it's all made in wood, old school kind of stuff, and it's like, hey, this could really be sharp. I wish I had seen the Southern Salvation concert. That a live performance, live music rocks, and just got there a little bit too late. So the preaching was over. Yeah, these guys are all decked out in nice red suits. I just missed them. All right, so now I'm going to enter the grounds. And, God, they celebrate diversity here. I think that's going to be their new entrance to the Ark encounter. But, yeah, here's my first kind of close-up. I'll even get a better one a little bit later, shortly. But yeah, you can Google this or go to YouTube and put in the Ark encounter, and there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of people that have taken video or pictures and the like, and you can. Oh, these things. I love the music. Okay, all sorts of things to do. So signs everywhere. A sign, and there's a lot of them. Informative type things. That's the black. I was blackballed, kind of. That black wristband would only allow me to walk kind of the perimeter, but I cannot go inside. But yeah, well, you could, like I said, go on the internet, YouTube, and geez, Facebook's probably got a ton of things on there too, and they got videos now. But yeah, it's an informative thing. I guess on the inside, it's like kind of like a museum kind of stuff, and so there's a lot of signs and everything that you can read and so forth. I'm looking at the woodwork here just for the ramp that got you up into the ark. Now they use cement here for the permanent fixture, but obviously back in the day they wouldn't have had all that, but the ramp would have been a one-time thing. The logistic, there's a lot of people that question about how this would all play out and whether it really happened, and some people, is this mythology or a fairy tale or whatnot, but a lot of people want to. It's kind of a neat little story that's fun to tell the kids and so forth. So everything you kind of got to take with a grain of salt, but there's skeptics out there to be sure, as far as if this really happened. But now the entrance is way back there. At one time, I think you had to go through all the turnstiles, then they kind of changed it around. So this is the entrance. I was kind of doing this backwards, but I didn't want to try to test my luck or force my hand. That's Ken Ham, the constructor. Now, the video on building this thing, it was just incredible, though. It's they had one of the main architects or the main builder of the whole project. It's like an Amish family or an Amish group, and certainly the Amish people are known for their woodworking skills and so forth. But just if you're into anything with wood, you probably would just be fascinated on this whole concept and what they did here. It's just, a lot of it's just amazing. It is larger than life. It's cool. So I might have to, I'm somewhat curious. Maybe I'll have to spring for the $40 and take a peek inside and next time I swing by this way. Maybe for the 150th Derby. That's in 3 years. Yeah, Noah. Yeah, you have to believe Noah could get 600 years old or whatever. Just the enormity of that and how they would even get all the wood and with the 8 of them or something to build the ship. How many years would that have taken? Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of question marks, but I don't want to ruin it for anybody. If your belief system, whatever it is, you're welcome to to go for it. So, but there's a lot of history, the plaques, and it was windy as all get out here. I don't know if a storm was brewing, and it's another warning that there'll be another great flood. But yeah, I was doing my best to hold the camera steady. And they had a giraffe made, and you can get your selfies and the like, or somebody could take your picture. Now, the ramp wasn't open. Now, I don't know if that would be an entrance. That would be kind of cool. Take the ramp to the top and then work your way down. It's kind of like the Guggenheim in New York. I think it's the Guggenheim. You take the elevator to the top and then you walk down. I don't know if they can do that with the Ark or not. And they have zip line. That I don't know. I don't think it opened with all that, but they decided to start adding auxiliary things. I don't know how many acres they own on the property. I don't know if that's a camel or a dinosaur. We got elephants there. It's a nice walking area, though. They have plenty of picnic tables and places, and I would imagine the flowers and the landscaping will only get better too. But it's just, for the older folk, the seniors and well, I'm one of those now, pre-senior, I guess. I still get all that AARP thing, but 65, I think, is officially your senior thing. So I'm 60 puts me in that dangerously close grouping, but yeah, I guess to look forward to, though, I start getting discounts. So that's something to get excited over. Yes, and if you're younger than 60, yes, you too will enjoy it. Check this guy out. He wanted out something bad. Lucky for me, that gate was locked because I think he wanted out, and then when he couldn't get out, he was looking at me. He wanted to get a bite out of me. But, yeah. Now, here you could either ride a camel or $8 per person. Let's see. And then they got feed a camel, but, yeah. I know people smoke camels. They have like a zoo attachment. I thought this was going to be extra, but yeah, apparently they weren't checking for anything. This is all part of the gig. So now my band was for $10, but that's because I paid for parking. Here, look though, I don't know if this is just going to be a service road or if they're going to do something extra here with some landscaping or what. But you got the rolling hills of Kentucky out yonder. And here, talk about diversity, zebra, black and white. I wonder if they look at other zebras or whatnot, and, they have black-white issues or not. Zebras probably confuse everybody all get out, being mixed like that. Here's the back side of the ark. So there's thing. I'm standing up on some nice. I don't know where they got all the wood, but man, would it cost millions more if they bought lumber now?